What up, everyone? You know who I am. I'm Jack Slater, aka the Comic Outlaw. Yeah. Check us out on YouTube, man. Drop us a like. But anyways, we're doing a review of one of the favorite things I like. That's a WWE. And yeah. And the one we're gonna be reviewing today is the US Championship. Legacy of Greatness. Now, the U.S. title was held way back in the day in the NWA, and it was brought over by the Crockett promotion, and it's been carried by a lot of greats. Ric Flair, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Dusty Rhodes, Sting, Lex Luger, Greg the Hammer Valentine, even modern times, AJ Styles, for example. The United States title has been kind of a mainstay for a long time. It's actually hosted by JBL, who himself held the title. It was a very important belt for him. John Cena, of course, had that U.S. Open, was very popular. I thought Kevin Owens, personally, was a great United States champion, the face of America. He made a great heel. There's been a lot of great people to wear this belt, and of course, there's been a few stinkers over the years. The Intercontinental title, even the heavyweight title, has had these problems over the years. This is actually really cool. I sort of like the documentary first and then all the matches. I kind of don't like it when it's a little bit here and then a match and then a little bit more of JBL talking in the match and then a little bit more. I feel it kind of disrupts the flow. Other people like it. But all in all, given the matches, it's just wonderful. JBL actually does a really good job with the intro. I know people say he's a bully, people say he's this and that, but you know what? I loved him on the APA, so kiss my ass. And the whole racist bit about him getting La Migra and stuff, that was Eddie Guerrero's idea, so think beyond the stage and look towards entertainment. Entertainment, man. Damn. But anyways, let's just crack this open here. Now, this is what the original United States title looked like. The belt. As you can see in the back, they have both belts right there. And this is just a great little DVD. I love how it just has a nice, concise history. It has some of the greats in it. There's a the Hammer Valentine match with Roddy Piper, which was fun to watch. Nothing can beat their dog collar match in my eyes, but this one was just really good. Of course, Tully Blanchard, he held the belt for a while, a member of the Four Horsemen. I actually talked about him in my recent Four Horsemen DVD. He's taking on Magnum TA. Oh man, TA was good back in the day. He actually became Dusty Rhodes' second when he started doing behind the stage stuff. And like I said, there's a lot of classic stuff here. Beautiful Bobby Eaton versus Dusty Rhodes, Lex Luger versus Sting. Yes, the buddies did fight every once in a while. Just so many different stuff. I could just sit here and read the accolades. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat versus the natural Dusty Rhodes before he was Goldust. Now, this is something that I feel that Dustin doesn't get enough credit for. When he was the natural, I liked him. He was good. Yeah, he was Dusty Rhodes' son, but he kicked ass. He had a lot of talent, and I'm glad that in All Elite Wrestling, he's gotten a chance to kind of show that, even though it's at a later age. So good for him. Good on him. Like I said, there's so many good matches in this. It's just cherry picking, just some of the best ones. Dean Malenko versus Chris Jericho, wonderful match. Dallas Page versus Eddie Guerrero. Oh man, Bret Hart versus Diamond Dallas Page. Goldberg versus Bret Hart. Now, this was the whole chest plate thing where he ran into him and hit the chest plate. Ah, man. The WCW gets a lot of shit for their storylines, but, WWE has had some whoppers in their day as well. I mean, you gotta love this. Matt Hardy versus MVP. And Matt Hardy is another one of those underrated people. The broken, or the woken Matt Hardy. Delete! I love that fool. I've always thought he never got enough credit. I know his brother, has a Flash, but I always thought Matt Hardy had the skills. And later on, his characters, his ideas actually came to fruition. I was actually glad that he was able to get a bit of the spotlight that he deserved. Like, there's so much good stuff in here. The Daniel Bryan versus John Morrison versus The Miz. This is just a nice cornucopia of different wrestlers from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and even in the new millennium. It stops with John Cena versus Alberto Del Rio. Well, Del Rio comes back and, blah, 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 blah. I know Vince McMahon has his problems with Del Rio, and a lot of other people do, but I always found him entertaining. Shit, you're looking at a man that was pissed off when they fired Wade Barrett. Bad News Barrett, I might add. King Barrett. Yeah, but this is just so cool. If you like a trip through wrestling history, and like I said, Layfield, he kind of lays it on thick for certain things, but there's so many different, and there's odd matches in here, like workers, like Lance Storm versus Mike Awesome. Lance Storm was a very good worker. He wasn't the best interviewer, but, nobody's perfect. Rick Steiner versus Booker T. Like, a lot of these matches, you just have to really look for, and I'm just glad that they put them all on one disc. This was so worth buying. I have loved the United States title for a lot of years. A lot of different people have worn it over time. And like I said, it's been traded out. It's been traded in. I'm glad WWE actually kept the title. And I think that has a lot to do with Triple H, Ric Flair, the idea of tradition. And the title itself has always been one of those important things to me. Even watching as a kid when Dusty Rhodes held the title and Ric Flair would tell him, well, mine is silk gold and yours is silver. It was just one of those things, that and the television title. I think they ought to make a disc for the television title from WCW. And that and the Cruiserweights. When are they going to make a WCW Cruiserweights, for Christ's sake? But this is so cool. This is really worth watching. There's a lot of other matches. I mean, if you go to WWE.com, the network, or even just look back at some of these old DVDs, you'll find a lot of great matches that are not even on here. I mean, look, there's even a stunning Steve Austin match versus the Great Muta. Oh, man. Yes, Stone Cold had hair back in the day. Believe it or not, he had hair. And he was teamed up with Paulie Dangerously in the Dangerous Alliance. Rick Rude was also the title holder for a while. Like I said, there's a lot of good titles. The Great Muta. Man, I loved that guy when I was a kid. The Green Mist. He was just one of those guys that didn't have to say anything. You knew, like the Ultimate Dragon, when he was coming to the ring, he was coming for business. He was coming to fuck you up. He was coming to take whatever you had. I loved it. I love the old wrestling. And, people always say crap about the NWA, the whole RoboCop thing, the whole this and that. Wrestling's wrestling. Wrestling's entertainment. You know what I mean? At least they didn't bring out the gobbledygooker, huh? But this is worth the buy. Hopefully they make a part 2 to this, because there's so many other good matches they could put on this. It's a lot like the hardcore title one. There's a lot of stuff they could pick from the hardcore title. Other matches that would probably make a great volume 2. This is another one of those. Like I said, I hope they do more with the United States title. And like I said, there's been other people to hold it, such as Kevin Owens and AJ Styles. I loved AJ Styles since TNA. I was glad when they brought him over. He had a great United States title run. Like I said, this title has been actually more important than a lot of other titles in some ways, because back in the day, it was the silver in WCW. I mean, it was a sign that you were going up to the tippy top, or at least you were going to have a shot. And I know titles come and go, and sometimes they're important, and sometimes they're not. But the history of this, the wrestlers alone, the matches, really well put together. They ended it at a good spot where John Cena was doing his, challenges and stuff like that. Like I said, it's worth doing a volume 2. I bet you they could find a lot of different matches from all the different eras from the United States title, because it was a symbol for excellence. It was a worker's belt, and like I said, sometimes it was, sometimes it wasn't, due to what era you're watching, but it's worth a watch. Then you check it out, so you guys check it out again. Inside, boom, 3-disc set. Reading some of the lists, but I only covered some of the matches. Like I said, this is worth throwing on. It's worth every penny. And if you love old wrestling like I do, you love the new stuff, and you want to see the evolution of the title, this is a great disc to buy. And as always, I'm Jack Slater. Time flies when you're having fun, if you know what I mean. And I got to jump from multiverse to multiverse. You know, I got a job to do. You know, crime just doesn't happen. Someone has to make it happen, if you know what I'm saying. But anyways, I'll catch you on the flip side.